we discussed machine learning for the exploration, and today, day 2, we will discuss machine learning for the production. This is the agenda for the day 2 of outreach program. Is my screen visible to everyone? Is the presentation is perfectly visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And dear audience, it's a request to all of you, please mute your mics. Dear participants, kindly mute your mics. Thank you so much. Still, there is some background noise. Please mute your mics. Thank you so much. So, in the day 2, we have to discuss, our agenda is machine learning for production, and the program is designed like this. First up, we will discuss the machine learning for the production, and it will be directly connected to the Industry 4.2. And then we will discuss the amalgamation of IoT, ML, AI, and cloud computing. And then we will discuss how machine learning is implemented for the production. And then the next generation manufacturing with machine learning. Yesterday we discussed the types of machine learning. Today we will discuss the types of machine learning in relation with the production and what are the benefits of making the production or manufacturing using the machine learning techniques. And after that, we will conclude the session. So before starting that how the machine learning is being used in the production, first up, we must be known of what is production, because all of us are just technical people. We know that what is engineering and all, but very few of us are aware of the business, marketing, sales, production, demand, supply, economics, and all. So let's have a short discussion on the term production. So anybody, any idea about the production? Anybody wants to share his or her own idea that what is production? Anybody? Okay, so let's discuss. Production is what? You take some raw materials of manufacturing and come up with some output or the product. Inputs in order to make something it may be non-material, and ultimately it will be clubbed, joined, combined, and the production process will take place, and ultimately you will be having some product that can be consumed for the utility of individual. So let's have an example of it. You can see the picture is visible. Can you tell me what is it? Means any idea kya hai ye or what's going on there?
It's a production
In
queue.
the picture, yeah, it is production. You can see if you pay attention, this is Amul milk. So it is a picture from the Amul milk plant, and you can see the packaging, the Tetra Pak packaging is going to be done in the plant. Another example of production, in the second picture, what can you interpret from this picture? What's going on in this picture?
Mining.
Right, we are mining. Ultimately, we will be having the coal or petroleum. We will be having the petrol, diesel, and wax. All of us know that. And another example, let's take another example of production. What do you think, guys? What is it?
Factory
third picture.
production.
Yeah, this is a picture from the NASA, and some rocket is going to be produced. So it is just a screenshot, or you can say it is just a glimpse of the production. See, this is the milk product in our daily life. Every individual consumes this one. That's why I took the example of milk. The another example I took of the fuel, because without the fuel, our vehicles, we cannot work. The gas, LPG gas, the petrol, the diesel. And third, I took the example from the scientist, because these days the satellites, rockets, without them, our mobile does not work. So in this way, you can understand these are the products. The outcome will be the products. The input will be taken, and a proper production process is carried out in order to convert the raw inputs to the final products. We purchase the product. Suppose you purchase milk in every morning. You purchase petrol whenever you go out, and when you bring or you utilize the services given by the satellite in a form of your networks. So in this way, we consume the goods, the products, or the services which are produced by some industry. In the milk, you can say it is the food or agro industry. This is our petroleum industry, and this is our NASA industry. So we must be aware of, before learning the ML in industry, we must, yes, please, it is creating noise. Somebody's mic is on. Please mute it. Thank you so much. So production processes carried out in order to convert the raw inputs to the final products. We purchase the product. Suppose you purchase milk in every morning. You purchase petrol whenever you go out, and when you bring or you utilize the services given by the satellite in a form of your networks. So in this way, we consume the goods, the products, or the services which are produced by some industry. In the milk, you can say it is the food or agro industry. This is our petroleum industry, and this is our NASA industry. So we must be aware of, before learning the ML in industry, we must, yes, please, it is creating noise. Somebody's mic is on. Please mute it. Thank you so much. So now you have gone through that what is production. We have seen the examples of production, and now we have to discuss, our agenda of this session is the machine learning in production. So we must be aware that right now we are at this position, the fourth industrial revolution, industry 4.0. Before reaching here, we have started from level 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4. So what happened in the first industrial revolution? The water and steam powered machines were developed, right? The steam power. And in the second, we had the machines running on the electricity. And third revolution came into the existence when we had digital revolution, means the computer and the automation. And the today's era, it is the era of industry 4.0. 4.0 is where there is AI, IoT, big data, machine learning, and we do have cyber physical systems. And the factories are called smart factories. The production is called smart production. Industry is called smart industry. That is the Industrial Revolution 4.0. So we have to focus in the today's industry, which are backed by the machine learning, the IoT, the cloud computing, the big data analytics, augmented reality, virtual reality, and we are turning our ordinary factories into the smart factories. So these are so many fancy terms. Maybe most of the audience are aware of all these terms, or maybe you are not aware. So this session is to bring the awareness to the industrial revolution and the role of machine learning in the industrial revolution. So maybe some of you are thinking that what is this cyber physical system? Like here it is mentioned very clearly that smart factories are the amalgamation of cyber physical systems, IoT, AI, big data, and so on. So if somebody is thinking like that, what is this fancy term, the cyber physical systems? And why she's explaining this, because how it is being backed by the machine learning. Of course, this is a very genuine question, that what is cyber physical system and how is it being backed by the machine learning. So let's have a look that I will first explain what is cyber physical system, and then I will explain how it being backed by machine learning. So let's have a look. This is a complete picture of today's industry scenario, Industry 4.0. Here we do have machine learning, we do have IoT, we do have the complete cyber physical system. So before explaining this picture, let's break this term into three sub-terms. Cyber, connected with physical, and the system. Physical, you know that, the things which are touchables. We can see, we can touch. Cyber, the cyber world, the world of internet. And system means these two are connected as a single system. So we can describe cyber physical systems as the integration of computation, networking, and the physical processes. And how is it achieved? Now look at the picture very carefully. See this machine and this machine. Some mechanical movement is there and it is moving, and arm is also in the motion. So these are the physical processes you can see, and these machines are embedded with, please notice, the Wi-Fi signal. It means the symbol is showing the machines are embedded with Wi-Fi modules and the sensors to take the input to monitor the entire physical process. The physical process which is being carried out by these machines, the sensors and Wi-Fi module are continuously monitoring the physical process, and with the help of this Wi-Fi module, the data is being transmitted to this, please notice, this cloud. The cloud is not an ordinary cloud. It is the cloud for computing, for the storage. So the process is being monitored by the sensors. Wi-Fi module is sending the data to the clouds. It is being processed, and then see, it is sending back some solutions, some instructions which are in continuous contact with the humans also. So in this way, the physical system, the human, the machines are in continuous contact, the consistent contact with the clouds, where the processing is being carried out, and the converted results or the information or the knowledge is given back to the machines in a form of actuators. Embedded computers are there, sensors are there, IoT, and the networking, everything is there just to control the physical processes with the feedback loops, where the physical processes affect the computation itself. So let's have a complete look, and the complete scenario is the machines are working, the human is controlling, but everything is under control and under monitor by the sensors with the help of networking components, say Wi-Fi modules. The data is transmitted to the cloud, where the machine learning algorithms are implemented to seek information from the data collected by sensors and to provide that information to the either the operator or to the machines directly in order to control the process, in order to monitor the process, and in order to optimize the process. If you guys remember, yesterday we discussed the same thing. If you remember that from the raw data, we process it and convert it into the important knowledge. It is the concept of machine learning. So what happened here? Here what happens, all the data is being collected with the help of sensors. With the help of networking components, it is stored at the cloud, and the cloud machine learning transforms the data into the knowledge, and important actions to optimize the physical processes can be taken automatically. This human operator, you are thinking that it is a human, but I say this is a robot. Means everything is between the machines. With the help of machines, with the help of machine learning, we can improve the process and we can optimize the production. So this is the role of machine learning in the cyber physical systems, and the fourth industrial revolution has transformed our industry to the smart factories. You can see that how the convergence of IoT and machine learning has raised the fourth industrial revolution. What happens? It seems like machine learning and IoT is like a match made in the heaven. You can say this is the technical heaven, because IoT means the sensors, actuators, Arduino, Raspberry Pi. These are used to collect and handle the huge amount of data, and machine learning algorithms convert the data into the useful actionable results, which are again implemented with the help of IoT devices. And you can see the complete picture in a flow here. The device with the sensors, and you can see the again networking component means Wi-Fi. This is the tower. Any networking device, it can be GSM, GPRS, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, it can be anything. Ultimately data is transmitted, then it is collected, or you can say the data is aggregated at the cloud. At the cloud, all the machine learning and the computation takes place, and then the results of computation are distributed for the consumption. Consumption may be the automated control of the plant. Maybe the Amul milk plant is totally automated. There is no human operator. That may be the coal mining is totally automated. There are robots installed and they are being instructed as per the situation of mind, that how to do the work. So in this way, the data is consumed, the knowledge is consumed to improve the processes, to improve the quality of products, and entire production process is optimized. So what does it mean? The convergence of IoT and ML transforms the industry and helps them to make more informed decisions based on the data available on the day-to-day life. Means they collect the data from their day-to-day life, that is processed, the decisions are taken, and with the continuous monitoring, continuous data collection, the decisions are made with optimization. The decisions are very smart, and they result into new propositions, new models, and the revenue will be increased ultimately, because a person goes and checks the things, monitors the things, and then he or she reports to the manager that there is a particular loop and there is a particular feedback, there is a problem, there is a good thing, there is a bad thing, and then the manager takes an action and then the things are improved. That was the old scenario. But nowadays everything is being captured with the cameras, with the sensors, and they are continuously being uploaded to the cloud. There everything is being processed and the decisions are taken in the runtime. So if we think about the any production plant, any factory, so the processes are being optimized with the help of IoT, machine learning, and other new technology. Now let's focus specifically on the machine learning for the production. The goal of building a machine learning model is basically to solve a problem. That we are applying the machine learning, it means I'm trying to solve a problem. I do have a problem statement and I'm solving it with the machine learning. So machine learning can solve a problem only when you are in the production. Your algorithm is in the production, and then it can be consumed by the consumers or the clients. Only then it can solve the problem. So how will it happen? We can see it. The goal of manufacturing is always you have to produce more, you have to produce high quality products and keeping the cost minimum. This is the rule of, or you can say the goal or the particular rule of manufacturing in the industry. There are only three things. You have to produce the product more with a better quality and at the lower cost. So smart manufacturing is what? We have AI, we have machine learning, and we will optimize our goals with the help of innovation and the new industrial AI. How it happens? Because we do have the data, which is very valuable, but we do have large amount of data and it is not so expensive. And machine learning will convert that data into the worthy knowledge, and it will help to reduce the production losses. Now, in the production, we have to figure out where we can apply the machine learning in order to produce more, better quality, and the low cost. We have to look at these three goals in the industry, and we have to find out where we can apply the machine learning. This is the scenario of the machine learning, and as per this scenario, we have to fit these three goals of the manufacturing processes or the industry. And when you will map these steps of learning from the data to the manufacturing, we will result in a step series to convert the model from the machine learning model to the product. It will be comprising of 3-step process. First is you have to store the data and you have to retrieve it. Second, you have to decide the frameworks and the tooling. And third is you have to give the feedback and the interaction, iteration of the things. It is very similar to this, but now you have to map the machine learning model to the product. So you can see in the diagram, the data storage and retrieval. How does it happen? सबसे पहले, the very first thing is you have to ingest the data. Then you have to perform data validation. Then transform your data. The first 3 steps are very similar to raw data, target data, and pre-processed data. You can see from this vertical line, the feature engineering, pre-processing, and the transformation, it is parallel to this. Then we applied some machine learning algorithm to find out the patterns and the rules. In a similar way, we are applying the estimator. Keras is written just because TensorFlow is written because these are open source Python libraries, Python modules. You can do it with any other tool like MATLAB or R in which you are comfortable. I have taken the example of Python because it is freeware. So after applying the machine learning algorithms, you will be having some actionable knowledge. So next step is after building the model, you will validate it. Just evaluate your model, validate your model, and then serve. In a similar way, you got the information, you got the knowledge, and it is ready to be consumed. So in this way, you can have the data storage, you have the framework, and ultimately you will serve your model. And after serving your model, take the feedback so that you can improve the performance of your model itself. I hope I'm clear here that what is Industry 4.0, what is the amalgamation of IoT, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, and what is the direction of understanding these things. So this is the workflow. It is similar to that. First up, you have the input data. You have to analyze the data. You have to find the important patterns, the predictions, or the instructions for your machine, and always consume the information and keep the feedback stored for the further improvement. So let's move to the particular applications of machine learning in industrial environment, of today's era, or in the Industry 4.0. In this way, we will map our machine learning techniques in the particular industrial applications. Let's have a look layer by layer. At the layer 1, you can see in the industry, one of the major component is labor. I hope everyone has seen some factory sometime in your life. You must have seen some factories, laborers are coming, going on, working. And labor is not like that, only that labor that carries the heavy load on their head. The working, the operator, the manager, everyone is labor, means human is involved. So in case you are applying machine learning, then you have the choice. You can have the human or you can replace the human with a machine like robots. So this is the level 1 in the industry, where you can replace the humans with the machines. Second, in our ordinary or traditional industry, we were having systems like machines and all. Now you do have cyber physical systems, means your system is connected with the cloud, where machine learning will take the decisions, very smart and quick decisions, and you can control your machines. In our old times, there were machines, there was a human operator, he's making the decisions. Now he has to do, the machine has to work like that. Somebody is saying that machine has broken, the production has stopped. So such kind of things wasn't only in the traditional industry. Now we do have cyber physical systems. We can predict that this machine is going to break tomorrow, so we can repair it by today only. Such kind of magics are there in the industry 4.2. Another change is the product and the services. Before, in the traditional things, there was some estimation that we can produce 100 units of the product. Suppose 10 are being used, then 90 are being wasted. So this is not the scenario of today's industry. We produce only when we do have the demand, and the analysis and the computation of demand is done very precisely and very accurately. It's all just because of machine learning and AI. In previous times, supply chain was suffered, like there is very high demand and the supply is very poor, or there is no demand and there is a bulk of product in the market. Such kind of losses in the production were in the traditional industry only. But now we do have data analytics. We every time we predict that this is the requirement, this will be required in next month, and we will make the production only as per the analysis. So it saves the production losses and increases the benefits, or you can say the profits. And another change is the networking. In the previous time, or in the traditional one, max to max, what we have, max to max, we have the mobiles for the connection. But right now, everywhere there are Wi-Fi. We have the IoTs, we have sensor, actuators. Everything is going to be automated very soon. Smart industry, smart city, smart home, all these are the projects, and I am sure that everyone have heard about it. So in this way, the machine learning finds its application in Industry 4.0. Let's discuss one by one in detail. First, you can see the labor. The human labor is replaced by robots. The factories are going to automate the machines instead of hiring the machine operators. And the reason is basically it ensures the safety of the workers, and specifically in the situations like coal mining or in the mining where there is a risk of human life. In that place, we can replace the human operators with the robots. And second thing is it can improve the quality of product by the self-optimization without the delay, without the extra charges, without the time and cost. So in this way, human robot interactions can be done, and factories are turning into the smart factories. Second aspect is quality. The quality is improved with the help of machine learning. How does it happen? Like machine learning algorithms, what happens when you are using machine learning algorithms? Manufacturers are given the alert so that all the minor issues can be resolved before such matters can lower down the production of good and the damages. It can cause the damages. It allows to maintain the very good quality of product. How does it happen? In this picture, you can see this is the system where the entire factory performance is being monitored. Means your everything is, planted with the sensors, the Wi-Fi modules, and every data is being collected over here. You can see this machine is working, but still it has the sensor and Wi-Fi module. So the entire data is being collected over here. The quality is available at the mobile application. This functionality of this specific machine, it is also being monitored. So entire data is being collected at the cloud. At the cloud, machine learning is taking the decisions, and as per the decisions, these machines are instructed directly to optimize their performance. Another aspect of machine learning in our smart factories is predictive quality and yield. It is the major point where the machine learning is being implemented in the industry. Let's discuss it in the detail, that how does it work and what is the features, what is the importance of predictive quality and yield. Predictive and quality and yield means it automatically identifies the root causes of process driven production losses. Means it figures out that at this point or at that particular point, this production, this process, this root cause can cause the loss in the production. Means suppose you are the owner of factory and somebody is there who is going to keep track that, sir, there is a problem, and in tomorrow's date it will cause such a big problem. So it automatically identifies, it automatically recommend the owner or alert the team so that they can inform the production teams. That is what you need not to hire somebody who will keep track of each and every process, which is not possible by the humans. So we do have sensors, we do have monitors, we do have the cameras, and ultimately all the data is being stored at the cloud and decisions are taken. They can figure out the root causes, they can make the recommendations, alert, and they can inform the production team or the engineers that it's going to be a problem. It share important knowledge on how to prevent those losses before they happen. And it is important because the prediction can be done. Please notice here, production is associated with the quality and yield, but now we have added predictive quality. Prediction means before it happens. Means the machine will tell, the machine learning algorithms will tell that this problem is going to be happened, and before it happens you take these steps to prevent these particular problems. And how it happens because of the continuous multivariate analysis and machine learning algorithms, and these algorithms are trained to understand each individual production process. Means I have taken the example of 3 different kind of industry. First was the food and products, second was the fuel, and third was the rocket science. So in all aspect, you might be wondering, the same machine learning algorithm, how could it work? It can work because machine learning techniques can adapt themselves to the individual production process. And predictive quality and yield means, suppose you are running a factory and tomorrow something happens and you have to bear the losses because आपको तो पता ही नहीं था, you had no idea that that particular problem is going to be arise. So in that situation, machine learning will let you know that tomorrow you are going to face this problem. Before this problem occurs, you take the steps and the particular problem will not occur at all. So let's have an example of it. Is the clip is visible to everyone? That, and anybody can tell me that what's going on in the clip? Anybody, please, from the participants, that what is going on in the clip? What do you think? Yeah, you can see the clip, but can you tell me that what's going on there? Means what it is? Okay, it is simply a machine. You can see the old sewing machine. Maybe some of you have seen it at some tailoring shop or maybe at your home. This is ordinary sewing machine, and the animation shows that how smoothly and perfectly it is working. And with the help of this butterfly, this animation is just giving the impression that everything is very smooth. I can say this is a machine which is working smoothly. And another example of this is, you can see the operation of these. Everything is working so smoothly and so perfectly, and I am very happy that my machines are working smoothly. This is the scenario of a small machine. This sewing machine, it is working smoothly because such kind of work of nuts, bolts and screws is going on perfectly. Every motor is working perfectly. And this is the example of small sewing machine. Suppose a big factory, the NASA factory, and they are producing some rocket for the launch. And there are small such machines, and they have comprised their factory of so many such machines. And suppose in the next moment it happens, the machine is malfunctioning, and the customer, how is she suffering? Or you can say the machine has just broken completely and turned that smooth situation into this disastrous situation. So this is the situation only of a garden and just a small house. But what will happen if the NASA factory collapsed like this? Can you imagine that your machine has just broken down? You had no idea that it's going to happen in the next very moment. And suppose you have some magician who can predict, who can alert that your smooth functioning is going to be turned in this disastrous situation very soon. I hope such a magician is required to everyone. And and the bigger is your factory, you definitely, your need for such a magician is more. So that magician, I say, this magician is machine learning. And machine learning will help you know that it will make the predictions using the previous state of machine, and it will allow you to have predictive maintenance. The stake owners will be aware of the different maintenance works before it gets failed. Means it will tell you in the advance that that particular machine may get failed tomorrow if you do not maintain it by today. So the predictive maintenance, predictive quality, it is the major functionality, major feature which is being offered by machine learning in Industry 4.0. Yesterday, if you remember, audience, yesterday we discussed this example for the association learning. So can you map this association learning for the Industry 4.0? In the industry, suppose you are producing some, you have some factory, or you are producing a particular product which is being sold at some price and people are consuming it, then how it will help you to run your factory in a profit? I suggest it will help to conduct supply chain management in more technical way, and this is also called SCM 4.0. Supply chain management is what? You produce, suppose this is the production point, you can see the product is here, it is being packaged, you can see condition is monitored, everything is monitored. See, at this point it is packaged, properly checked and dispatched with the billing. So this is the ordinary process of producing something and supplying the product: production, packaging, delivery, quality check, everything. But with the help of machine learning and Industry 4.0, you can see humans are just taking care of the things, that everything is okay. All the work is being carried out by the machines. All the machines are embedded with the cameras and Wi-Fi modules. There are connecting nodes, entire data, everything is being under control and monitored. All the data is being enabled by the Ethernet. It can be Wi-Fi, it can be Internet, Ethernet. Data is being collected, decisions are being taken, and entire process is optimized in order to maintain this supply chain smartly. So I say this association will help you out in the supply chain management, or you can say that demand and supply rule. You can also check for the demand and supply. Demand and supply means, suppose there is a demand for your product, suppose it is a particular food item. I'm taking the example of food item because it cannot be stored more than 1 month. In case it is not being consumed, then you can keep it safe only for the 1 month. After 1 month, it will expire, and it will be the totally wastage of money from your end, because you are producing that product in your factory. Suppose initially there was a demand of 1,000 units, and you produced everything like 1,000 units, and you have just dispatched 1,000 units for sale. But now you saw only 10 units have been consumed, and rest of the 990 items are still in the market, and the clients or the shopkeepers are saying that it is not being sold, please keep it back and refund our money. What will happen? You will run into the loss of 990 units. It would be so better if somebody told you earlier that do not produce 1000 units to cover the 1000 units demand. You just produce 10 units because the actual demand is 10 units only. Can you imagine if somebody would be there who could told you that it is the actual demand, not the statistics and all that. So that can be done only with the help of machine learning. If you had the idea that people who consume these units, suppose this is the butter, or you can say the jam. Let's take an example of jam, because jam is mostly 99% is purchased when bread is purchased. So suppose there was the demand of 1000 units of jam you produced, but if you would have monitored the market of bread, then you would have the knowledge that bread is not being sold, then jam will ultimately will not be sold. So this is what machine learning, they will keep eye on each and every aspect, each and every association, each and every link, so that it can update you with the requirement in the runtime. I hope it is clear to everyone that what is supply chain management. You have to supply your product as per the demand. If you supply more than the demand, it will be wasted, and your factory or your industry will run into the loss. And if you supply as per the demand, or you can increase the demand, this is another aspect of business. If you can increase the demand of a product in the market, then you can make your business grow. So this is the example where the machine learning can help you out to judge or to read the mind of your clients, to read the mind of your customers, and to serve them as per their requirements. Another example is the customer relationship management. Yesterday we took the example of the same in the clustering. The clustering will help you to target your markets. See, yesterday we were discussing the loan or the credit card issuance. Suppose you are working at the bank and you have to take care that what kind of customer can be issued with the credit card. I have plotted income on x-axis and debt on y-axis. So the people who are having high income and they have very low amount of debt, they are in the green circle, means they are very good and they can be issued with the credit cards. But the people who are having very low income, they can not be issued the credit cards. And this circle, who are having very high debt and very low income, they should never be given the credit cards. So in this way, you can segment your customers on the basis of the similarity, and you can serve them with the promotional mails, you can serve them with the particular kind of products. So this is the scenario of Industry 4.2. These are the supporting technologies, and you can see the augmentation of all these technologies, including the machine learning, is causing the fourth industrial revolution. We can go with the other techniques also: IoT, big data, real data optimization, cloud computing, cyber physical system, cobot, augmented reality, virtual reality, and so on. What are the benefits of it? Basically, it will reduce the losses, wastage, or the quality loss, or the throughput. It will reduce the losses. Second, it will increase the capacity because it will optimize the production processes. The cost will be reduced because we do have the predictive maintenance. The unpleasant surprises will be just prevented, and we cannot have the unplanned downtime. Supply chain management we have seen. We can have the efficient inventory management. We can have a well monitored and synchronized production flow. Quality can be improved because we do have the insights into the constantly raised product quality. We can have the improved human-robot interaction or the collaboration to improve the safety of the employees, and efficiency can be improved. And another benefit is we can focus on the consumer focused manufacturing. Means whenever there is a change in the market demand, suppose the demand for a particular product has been changed, and you can respond to it quickly because you have the machine learning. You can make the analysis that this product is going to be in high demand and this product is going to be in low demand. So we can conclude this session and we can move forward for the applications. That machine learning is best data science case which falls within the range of artificial intelligence, and it is very useful and transformed the industry from manufacturing into the smart factories. So before I would like to just bring you something like this is the upcoming conference FICTA. Let me explore the link with this, and it is being organized by NIT Mizoram, and I just request you all to have a look on it because it is one of the which is just giving you platform to explore your work or to showcase your work. Or you can see from 2012 they're continuously conducting such conferences, and there are so many special sessions. And in fact I am already chairing a session here, the special session 13. And you can submit your paper to me. This is my email ID if you are interested. And if your topic or the content of your paper, the theme matches with this theme, then you can submit to me. And otherwise, if your paper does not fall in this category, then you can submit to the other sessions. Other sessions like there are so many special sessions you can see in the blockchain, cloud computing, deep learning and all. So in any of these you can submit, and please let me know the paper ID in case I would like to help you in the best possible way I can. So this is the home page of the conference, ficta.org. You can go through it, and this is my special session. If you want to submit and your work falls in this category, then you can submit it to me directly. Otherwise, you can submit into other sessions and just let me know the paper IDs. So that is all for the today's session. That machine learning, in how the machine learning helps you in industry 4.0. So if you have any queries, then
Yes, I have a query.
yes, please.
Machine learning algorithms, it makes decisions in real time.
Yes.
Can you give an example?
Because it is in the continuous process. You are training your model, you are testing your model, you are applying it, and you are taking the feedbacks. So it can improve its learning. It continuously runs and learn, perform, and learn with the feedback link.
Okay.
So the session is open for the queries. If anybody is having any query, please raise the questions. Because our outreach program was planned like this, in the machine learning for exploration and production. So if first up we must be aware of the machine learning, various techniques, how we can apply the techniques in the real life, and then we have to switch it for the production. And in current situation, the industry 4.0 is the only market where you will find the jobs, because engineering jobs are open and every industry is transforming itself from the traditional industry to the industry 4.0. So you must be aware of all these techniques, the the machine learning, the cloud, and all of them ultimately performing the logic, the reasoning with the help of machine learning. So I suggest everybody to go through the machine learning, whether it is involved in your syllabus, it is a part of your curriculum or not. If you want to seek a good job in the future, if you want to go for the MS or any further higher studies, ultimately you should be aware of the concept of machine learning and go with one particular platform, either the Python or the MATLAB, but you should know the core coding from the scratch. Yeah, difference between the machine learning and AI. Machine learning is a part of AI. AI is a very wide branch, and in that wide field, machine learning is a sub branch of AI. So I request everyone, whether the faculty or the student, everyone should learn the machine learning techniques. They should implement it. And yesterday somebody asked me regarding the publication. Then I suggest you start with the conference, and that's why today I shared the link of the conference in which I'm chairing a session. So I can try to help you out with your publication, but the quality of paper should be good. So you can submit it to me. I'll recommend the your paper, and if even if it is not in the category of my session, you can submit it to any other session, but let me know the ID so that I can help you out. You should start publishing your work. Start with the conference, then you can extend the work to the journal, or you can target the very good journals like Scopus, SCI. It's not an issue, but if you have not yet started the publishing, please start publishing. It is very important. uh, you should work, you should exhibit your work. Only then your skills will be recognized in the market. Even if you are a BTech student, you should learn, you should do projects, carry out the projects, exhibit your work in the conference, in the journal, or in the hackathons. You should perform. I hope you guys are convinced with these points, because without these, your skills cannot be, So if anybody is having any query, then please, you are welcome.
Yes, I request you everyone. Do you have any questions, please?
And yes, I do have a request. After the feedback, we will, if your feedback, like if you want to go through the machine learning techniques in the detail, because it was just an outreach program for 2 days. But if you want to go through the machine learning details, techniques in detail, like the detailed regression, detailed clustering, classification, and their application, the mathematics behind it, and the coding part, then please contact Dr. Gupta and Dr. Arvind. They will help you out. We can conduct detailed sessions, like we can have 1 week workshop, 1 week series of the lectures. When we can have the 15 days series of the lecture, kind of. We can plan. You can share your feedback with the Dr. Gupta and Dr. Arvind, and they can contact me. We can plan as per the convenience. If you guys want, means it is not mandatory, but if you are, happy with the session, if you are getting the things, if it is understandable to you, then we can have the series of lectures. So it is up to you. Like a crash course on machine learning, we can do that. Maybe in April we can plan for that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thanks for the information. And I hope everyone is happy with the day 1 and day 2 sessions.
Thank you, ma'am.
It was very honor to me be a part of machine learning webinar, and thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again. Definitely we'll try to send a paper, and already we written some papers,
Yeah,
and
because
we'll
sir,
take your
what happens now,
inputs,
if
and
I'm hosting
definitely
something and
we'll
I'm
attend that
willing to give you the chance.
conference, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
because
very much,
if
ma'am.
I'm hosting and I do have the privilege of selecting some papers or kind of recommending some work, then the good work should be recommended. And I'm very happy for that you have arranged such a beautiful session, such a beautiful outreach program, and lovely audience. I'm very happy. And Dr. Gupta, if they are interested in the full-fledged machine learning course, I will seek pleasure in it. I would like to share the knowledge. If the students are interested, we can plan, we can discuss over it, that what is the curriculum of the students, if they are going through the machine learning syllabus any. Otherwise, I can give them some course outline, and we can go through it for the 1 week course or the 15 days course. Because for nowadays now, the students require the machine learning. Otherwise, they will not get the good jobs in the market. Because ultimately, if they go for the data analytics, they go for the IoT, cloud, or any application or any industry, without machine learning, they will not seek any good job. So I suggest you ask the kids, if they want, then we will plan something like that.
Sure, ma'am. Should definitely.
So thank you so much, sir, and really it was a very good experience to me, and I hope in future we will be in collaboration. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.